Yeah, it was awesome. I felt extremely difficult circumstances. Lots of, just in my 2,000 games of being a head coach, I can tell you there's some elements there that were really challenging. You throw that many new players in a lineup, it's going to be tough. And then that many players that haven't had experience. I mean, you had multiple guys with first games, second game played. There's no continuity, and then you had no practice time. So not only do you have no practice, you're not feeling good as a group. So very difficult circumstances. I thought the standard that we want to play by was upheld by our players, our leadership there, and certainly by Ellie and our coaches. So, and today we have to build on that. And I think the two games that we had now to get our feet under us, and we're going to get Hinostroza back in the lineup today, Skinner back in the lineup today. I think that's going to help stabilize it and maybe nudge us up another one level, but obviously a big challenge today.
Those two, anybody else?
Just those two. And I've been in a whirlwind, Mike, so I'm almost certain it's just those two right now.
Any idea who's coming out for them?
Not yet, because we're still waiting as the protocols, obviously an earlier game day, so there's information we don't have from testing even this morning. So everybody is eligible going into the morning. That's why it's tough to release a lineup at this point until we get the clear go.
And what was your schedule this morning? You found out 5 days was up. You could get here. How did you get here?
Yeah, hopped on a flight and got here. Found out at 6:52 this morning, and had been up very, very early. Not early or late, either way you want to look at it, waiting for results for clear. I knew I was close, and it could happen based on lab results, and so I was waiting literally minute by minute in hopes of being here, and didn't find out till right before 7 a.m.
How do you recapture the road mentality you guys found in that last trip? Thursday was a back-to-back.
Yeah, I don't think you can recapture anything. I think you just got to keep moving forward and build. And I went at our guys pretty good in the pregame meeting here about what I feel they can accomplish, what I feel we can do, based on this is the third game back now, and they've had some time to get their legs under them, some time to get familiarity with maybe any new players coming in the lineup. That I think we're capable of more, and that's going to have to be our focus. What more can we do right now than we didn't do the other day? And then you throw the pre-scout, the respect that you're in someone else's building, and it's a good opponent. You throw all those things in there, and that's kind of the rekindling of what maybe you don't hang on to, but it's the familiarity of all this.
And the last thing for me, the Bruins have had this long break, kind of like what you guys went through Wednesday. The start's always important, but how much does the start even get emphasized more today? And the theory you're thinking they might be pretty rusty.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be rusty for a couple of reasons. They have their lineup back together, which they hadn't had, and their identity it's 10 years. It dates back to the 2011 Cup. Their identity has been their identity. So, even new players that come in, they have an identity through their leadership that's been here that long, that continuity, and they've had extra practice days. And veteran players, you give them a couple extra, they know how to get ready for games, and so I don't expect them to be knocked down any bit, and any of that being a negative for them. So we have to respect that, and if it's the typical game, they have a extremely hard surge and push at the start of the game, and they compete to try to force the opponent to quit, and we have to be ready to battle through that.
Oh, and the goalie, UPL?
UPL, yep.
Anyone on Zoom?
No, when you said, some of the new players probably could give more, do you mean also Peterka and Krebs, and what were your thoughts on the two games that you've seen from them?
Yeah, when I say give more, it's natural. It's not that they didn't give enough or they weren't given what they should have. It's now they have information and they have a little bit more experience in hindsight, so push a little further. But yes, they both showed talent, but they also showed lots of areas that we can target and say, hey, focus on this. Turn your turn your attention to this detail or this outlook, which I did, which I did speak to them and gave them some target points for today. And you just keep moving forward, keep pushing. The nice thing, exciting thing for me is, I've had so many young players and spent so much time in my career in this phase of players' careers, development, how to impact winning at the highest level. And there's a lot there that's what they're going to learn now, and that's what they're going to try to figure out now. How can my skills help an NHL team win hockey games? And from what I saw in the last couple games, it's exciting for me because there's opportunity at rapid development as they gain this type of hindsight.
You're missing half your defense. 3 guys are out. How difficult has that been to approach going into those 2 games missing half your D, 3 of your D?
Yeah, Paul, it's what we've gone through with goaltenders, and it's just, I don't know if it's the COVID era. It does feel like, the last couple of years it felt like running an American Hockey League team or an East Coast Hockey League team. You have to be ready for anything and everything. You have to be able to use depth. You have to be able to pull different guys together quick. As I mentioned in the outset, the Boston Bruins have had an identity since they won a cup in 2011 because they've had those veteran guys return every year. And we haven't had that, so you have to keep pulling guys together and, to work to forge an identity. And it just seems to be something we've gone through over the pandemic, really, with losing players. This, as you mentioned, I didn't even realize it was half our D. It just feels almost a new normalcy, unfortunately. But I still feel we're progressing, and we can't get distracted on that front.
What was it like watching games at home? And I guess you were communicating with the staff every day, even during games. Just what was that experience like watching games from your couch or your office or whatever?
Yeah, well, it wasn't the couch because you can't sit down when you watch stuff like that. But it was, my feeling was I felt that, I left the coaches in a pretty tough spot. Not only was I out, both our video coaches were out, which our video coaches do a ton of work. Miles Fee and Justin White are amazing. And they were working remote. So we were just trying to support, Ellie and Marty and Jason as much as we could, in between periods and whatever, and not interfere with their, the feel they have on the bench, the energy, the emotion, and those sorts of things. So, we were trying to be as supportive as we could, and it was enough there, Bill, that I didn't have any frustration or, certainly in the game I was engaged in doing what I could to chip in. And we've, no different today and every day I've been here. I think we've got a staff that everybody chips in, and for me, those couple games, it was just different.
Are they back?
Yeah,
Are the 2 video coaches
no,
back?
not yet. They'll be on their way back, though. Yeah.
Juan, who's coming out for you today with Skinner and Hennis back?
Hi, Brian. I mentioned to Mike that I can't tell you who's out yet because it's an earlier game. We're waiting for confirmation on test results, so everybody's still eligible. And I don't want to say a lineup and then I walk out of here and find out it just switched. So that will be, our warm-up group is our game group, if that helps.
And given that you're in a stretch here of 4 games in 24 days, and obviously a while till the next one, would you expect most of or a lot of guys back for next game?
I haven't had time to look at it, but all the COVID protocol guys obviously will be back in that span. They're all doing well, and really ready to go when they can, when they move out of COVID protocols. So that's exciting. And the break, we'll use the break. These guys practice hard, and I feel our team has been way better coming off practices, playing in games. Our execution's been better. So that we hope that's a good thing, and we'll make sure it's a good thing having that extra time to use as practice.
Thank you.